know that their collision hitbox is way tighter than killers are, which means that people are able to get more value out of each loop. So even just circles that are around the map that are quote-unquote unsafe have become much more safe. Things that might get one loop at a time, people are getting like 2 to 4, 5 loops at a time. If you go down, because they get better, you get downed at a pallet, which means that as killer you have to spend more time looking around, making sure that they're not able to be saved. And a lot of times it means that there's more room for survivors to bail each other out. The base mechanics of the game have always favored survivor, and as people both get better over time, those issues need to be fundamentally addressed if they ever want to have a more balanced game. Until then, they are going to be slugged and they are going to be camped because you basically have to break the intended game flow as killer by slugging and tunneling, which is not the intended goal of what killers are supposed to do per match, in order to overcome this shit. Yeah, like, in an ideal world, I would like to actually play a game where 12 hooking is the norm. I really would. I think it'd be pretty fun. If you played a 12 hook in DBD, you are so fucked beyond belief, you ain't winning a single match. You have lost, and lost horribly. Unless you are able to play in a super nice way, because your killer is so strong, like you're playing Blight or something. To where you're like, yeah, I want to play as a fun Blight today. Now, see, they fucked up horribly there, but they are able to, hey, be down at a pallet right here. Tough shit. Learn to play against a killer. Like I said, I would like to, right now in an ideal world, go to the next person. I'd like to afford to not have to just stare at this person to achieve a win. They're a Swift, by the way. I'm a pedophile? Could you explain that exactly? A very interesting misuse of the word pedophile, but go off, king. It's exactly why we put a guard down, because we know that they're using DS. Oh, we have Dead Hard too. Do I ever stop bitching? Not against cheating ass Swifts. Nope. As long as Swifts are able to be cheating and ass, they will be bitched at. However, accusations of quote-unquote pedophilia, not acceptable. Hopefully it's pretty obvious why you got banned. Again, most normal Swift apologist. Getting called a pedophile is definitely a new one. Not even in the fucking vicinity, by the way. I literally course correct. And nah, you still got hit, dude. Yep, have fun. Bye-bye. Oh, I know. And they're a 4-man, obviously. If I see 3 blood point offerings and a map offering, that's a Swift. By the way, my hitbox is literally well beyond, you know, the pallet there, and she still has the interaction range to go through my entire model and pull it down. Body blocking only exists for survivors, never for killer, unless you're basically Wraith at this point. Really adorable. Killer-sided, by the way. I mean, no one's ever like, oh yeah, dude, you played Knight. It's a killer-sided match automatically, but... Yep, we have the adrenaline procs in the middle of chase, so they know. Oh, never mind. But yeah, we know it's a 4-man Swift. Once offerings happen. Oh yeah, and then C. Everybody's got their roles. And whatnot. What? Why would it be at 0? Love to hear why you think it should go back to 0, my dude. 3 hooks? What? You guys cheated that match. What do you mean? You guys are 4-man on comms. With a map offering. What? Yeah, super easy to explain. Now, the last person about 20 minutes ago... Sorry, let me finish off this jerky here real quick. One sec, let me finish off this jerky real quick. You probably don't want to hear my mouth chewing. Sure, so... The easiest definition of what cheating is whenever you use a third-party application to get yourself an advantage in-game that could otherwise not be achieved otherwise. So, when you are playing a side that is, as a team, intentionally balanced around the fact that you do not have access to comms, and then you bring in comms, that gives you an advantage that you could otherwise not get. Therefore, it would be cheating. Yeah. Now, I've already dealt with the same song and dance of, like, the skull emoji, delusional. If you could engage with that explanation of what cheating is, that'd be great. Nobody has yet, ever, in the history of this channel, but you might be the first. So prime example is after the first down, right? You had your teammate go under the pallet. So when you have that, the game is not balanced around the fact that in comms, you're able to say, hey, I am over on this side of the map. Hey, listen, again, so I already said that earlier today. I already dealt with people with the skull emojis as an argument. We're going to need to move past that in terms of being able to engage with the statement. All right? No, because the disingenuous way that would get phrased is game bans you for playing with friends. Now again, playing with friends is able to be multiple things at the same time. You can play with your friends and cheat, that is possible. And then obviously behavior is a company. Their goal is to make money. If you are able to get a higher player base because you have people, that are able to play with their friends, that gets you more money. However, the definition of cheating, as outlined by myself earlier, which again, you haven't engaged with, and I'm going to need you to engage with, is if you're using a third-party application, okay? So you're playing Dead by Daylight, and you have a tool of any kind that is giving you an advantage in-game that could not be achieved otherwise. So in Dead by Daylight, you can't have comms. You can't have people call out saying, hey, the killer is over on this side of the map. Hey, I know what perks you have as a teammate. Hey, I'm able to play around that accordingly. Just because something is not going to get you banned in DBD does not mean that it actually falls under the definition of what cheating is. So what's my point? Again, I explained it. Dead by Daylight, when you are playing as a survivor, is balanced around the fact that the 4 players do not have access to comms. Because when you add comms into the game, it breaks the balance. You're not supposed to be able to say, hey, I'm against Leatherface. Hey, I'm over on this side of the map. Hey, I'm going to be downed at this pallet over here. To where you can also say, hey, I know that my teammate here has unbreakable DS. It doesn't matter that they get downed over here. They're going to be up and independent. So I don't need to spend my time getting off a gen, for example, going over there. That baked-in inefficiency is part of what a survivor gameplay experience is going to be. If you remove that, it basically all but guarantees a win. Okay, again, so just because you are playing with your friends doesn't mean that it is separate from the statement that it is giving you an unfair advantage from a third-party application that you could not otherwise get in-game. All right? There intentionally are perks that are meant to give you information. All right? And all of those perks can be boiled into the fact that you're part of a SWIFT, bond, empathy, alert, any means necessary pallet drop aura. Okay? And then a slew of additional perks that are intentionally gated for you having information is all rolled into the part where, you have comms. Okay, Strode, it was really easy to figure out once the match loaded in that when you bring a map offering and you bring in 3 blood point bonuses, that is like one of the easiest, hey, this is a SWIFT. Given the fact also that when I see 4 people that are on the same platform there, it's really easy to understand that, hey, this is a SWIFT. So when I tunnel, again, I'm not doing anything that is outside the bounds of the game, all right? That's not an application to give me an advantage, all right? If all of a sudden I had the ability, here's an example. Say Dead by Daylight adds a spectator mode, and I have my friend as killer join the spectator mode for me. He's in Discord with me, and he's feeding me info of exactly where you guys are. He's able to say, hey, Titan, the survivors are over there. Hey, they're healing over there. Hey, I can see what perks they have. So when the person gets unhooked and they're quiet, I can tell you whether or not it's Iron Will or off the record. That would be cheating pretty badly because I'm not supposed to have access to that info in game. That part of killer right there, that would undoubtedly be cheating, is the same shit that you guys have when you're part of a SWIFT. So if I win against a SWIFT, you can lose against people that have an unfair advantage, right? Like, if I, for example, hacked in a 5% move speed bonus, right? Like, that would be cheating. Could we all agree that if I had a third-party application that gave me a speed boost of an extra 5%, right? That's cheating. Do we agree that that would be cheating? It's a simple yes or no. Could... Okay, I'm going to need you to answer the question. It's a simple yes or no. If I hacked in a 5% haste as Leatherface, right? Again, that's because they're a company. Their goal is to make money, okay? The definition of cheating isn't what behavior says is or isn't. Okay, if behavior said that Swifting was cheating tomorrow, obviously you guys would be, hey, no, it's not, okay? Your argument isn't just, well, behavior said so. I know for a fact that your argument isn't just behavior said so, so it's acceptable. Because again, if they had my opinion tomorrow, I know that you guys would be up in arms, and then you would lay out your actual reasons as opposed to, well, the company said so. No, I'm just saying. So I just need you to answer a question. If I hacked in 5% haste, is that cheating, yes or no? Well, I'm just saying, is hacking a 5% haste as killer cheating, yes or no? Oh, and Webby, it's super easy, because Dead by Daylight is balanced around the fact that, okay, why is hacking in a 5% haste as killer cheating? That's the next question. Of course, it's not comparable. 5% haste is way less powerful than the power of Swift. But why? But here's the next step. Why is hacking in a 5% haste not cheating? And the easiest answer is because it falls under... You said it hacking. You're right. Well, it would be a third-party application. I'm not, like, into the code of the game, right? But it would be a third-party application that gives my character an extra 5% haste. Now, why would that not be okay? Because it's not allowed. Again, if behavior said, hey guys, you can use third-party apps to make your killers go faster, again, your argument would not be like, alright guys, I guess Leatherface can just go faster now. I guess it's okay. My argument isn't when behavior says it's okay, and when it's not, it's not. Alright? If behavior, again, flipped their opinion tomorrow, would you admit that Swift is cheating then? I have some questions that are just yes or no, and I need you guys to follow through with them because like they're super easy to understand, and it points out the hypocrisy here. Webby, to answer your... not Webby, Rainman. The easiest answer to that is there is parity for both sides having access to comms, right? So if it's a 5-on-5 professional League of Legends match, there is parity between, hey, both sides have access to comms. So they are able to play on an equal playing field as such. The info that they can share between one another is able to be shared in accordance to the other side. Correct. Killer is balanced around the fact that I am a single individual. That is always true. Now, again, Survivor is balanced around the fact that there are 4 individuals. You are not supposed to have comms in this game. That is for a reason. Because when survivors are able to use communications, it negates a multitude of perks. I did this a few days ago. We're going to march down the list right now, and we're going to show you all the perks that Swift is able to give you at a given time. Alright, no, I do not play motherfucking Dwight. Alright, we're just going to go over all of the perks that you can get just by having Swift. You may think, hey, this isn't... Alright, okay, again, you can play off comms and still win. In the same way that if I had an app that gave me 5% haste, you could also win. If you went against a Leatherface that's 120% move speed, you can win a match. Cheats are not when you make yourself immune to losing. You do realize that, right? If I had a 5% cheat on Leatherface, you do understand you can beat that. It's so both. Drew, you haven't engaged with like a single thing, I'd say whatsoever. Alright? You can beat a person that is cheating. You understand that, right? If you say no, you're going to get banned. Like, I cannot handle multiple people that can't answer a yes or no question that is a sentence long. Webby, hey, listen, some people won't need to cheat next time. That's alright. You can beat a full Swift. That happens very often. But just because somebody is cheating doesn't mean they are immune from losing. You do realize that, right? I know you don't, but you do realize that's possible. Again, if I hacked in a 5% haste on Leatherface, you can beat Leatherface at 120% move speed. That is possible. But again, you're not supposed to have that. It means that just because something is possible, as in like, hey, you can beat a Swift that is on comms, does not mean that it is not giving them an unfair advantage. By using a third-party app to give themselves an advantage in-game that they could not get otherwise, i.e. cheating. Correct. And it's not only that, but you also shouldn't have access or knowledge to your guys' perks. Because, obviously, you have tacitly learned that, hey, if I know my teammate has Unbreakable, and DS and they're off hook and they get knocked down, well, guess what? I don't need to go off the generator, go 15 seconds over there, and maybe try to distract the killer while I go for a save. I can use that time to complete a 6 of the generator, for example. When you have all that extra knowledge, even if it's not in the foreground of your mind and you just play it off in the background of it, you still have an advantage that nets yourself some very quantifiable advantages, whether or not you want to admit it. You know what? Actually, I'll take that back. That is possible. Generally speaking, that's not the case because survivors don't have knowledge about each other's perks. But if I'm going to assume that it is in the parameters of the game as PC, yeah, sure. That being said, even when you're not on comms and you have that, it still gives you a massive advantage. Now, when you have active communication, that is very, very important. People do not type out their perks, okay? I have played enough Survivor to where people are not saying, here, here's my full build, copy paste. That doesn't happen. Now, you're going to lie and say it does, but please play 100 solo queue matches and then come back to me with how many people do that. Anyways, so I was talking about the perks that you get as a part of being Swift that people don't realize. So the entirety of aftercare you can get at any given time because your teammates can say, hey, I'm over here. Alert. They can literally say, hey, the killer is X, Y, and Z, and they are over here on any given time during the match. Any means necessary. They can tell you when they drop any pallets. Boom.